Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and the Earth has suddenly stopped spinning. No sunrise, no sunset, just one side of the planet locked in eternal day, the other side swallowed by endless night. Within seconds, oceans would rise into colossal waves, winds would roar faster than any storm ever recorded, and the world as we know it would collapse. Sounds insane, right? Let's break down exactly what would happen. The Earth spins at about 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. That's faster than a jet plane. You don't feel it because everything around you is moving at the same speed. But if the Earth suddenly slammed to a halt, everything not nailed down would keep flying eastward at that insane velocity. Cars, houses, even entire cities would be ripped apart. It would be like the biggest car crash in history, except the whole planet is the highway. And the oceans? They wouldn't stay calm either. The water would surge out of control, rushing toward the coasts in tsunamis taller than skyscrapers. Entire shorelines would disappear within minutes. Cities like New York, Tokyo, and Rio de Janeiro would be swallowed by walls of water. Even inland areas wouldn't be safe, because rivers and lakes would also violently spill out of their basins. But the chaos wouldn't stop there. The atmosphere would keep moving too. Imagine hurricane-force winds circling the planet non-stop, shredding everything in their path. Forests would be flattened, deserts would turn into sand-blasting storms, and mountains would echo with roaring gales. Humanity would suddenly face nature's fury on a scale we've never even imagined. Okay, let's say somehow you survive the first few hours. What happens next? Well, one half of Earth would be locked in constant daylight, while the other half would be trapped in eternal night. The sunlit side would burn under unending heat, deserts expanding, oceans boiling near the equator, while plants and animals wither. Meanwhile, the dark side would freeze solid, turning landscapes into icy wastelands where nothing could grow. Only a narrow strip between the two halves, the twilight zone, might remain habitable, a thin band of dusk where survivors could cling to life. Our entire way of living would collapse. Power grids would fail, agriculture would be impossible, and billions of people would be displaced in search of food and shelter. The balance of the Earth's climate, so delicately tuned by rotation, would be gone forever. Imagine constant superstorms tearing across continents, lightning splitting the skies every hour, and endless droughts followed by floods. Civilization as we know it wouldn't stand a chance. Animals would go insane too. Migratory birds would lose their sense of direction. Nocturnal creatures on the night side would thrive at first until the world froze around them. On the day side, insects and predators would spread like wildfire, only to die off when the heat becomes unbearable. The oceans, usually alive with currents guided by Earth's spin, would stagnate. Entire ecosystems would collapse in months. And then there's the human mind. Imagine never seeing a sunrise again. On the night side, people would live in frozen darkness, relying only on artificial light until resources ran out. On the day side, the unending glare of the sun would destroy sleep cycles, driving people into madness. Entire cultures would collapse under the weight of a broken sky. But here's the truly terrifying part, the moon. Without Earth's rotation, our gravitational relationship with the moon would change. Tides would become unpredictable, sometimes vanishing, sometimes rising higher than anything humanity has seen. Coastal life would be obliterated. And without rotation, Earth's magnetic field would slowly die too, leaving us unprotected against deadly solar radiation. Even if we survived the first day, long-term life on Earth would become nearly impossible. So, could humans adapt? Maybe. Survivors might gather in that twilight zone between the eternal day and night, forming new societies under a dim orange sky. Cities would shrink into fortified camps, powered by what little resources could still be extracted. Food would come from artificial farms lit by lamps, water would be rationed, and people would look up at a sky forever stuck in dusk, remembering when the world used to turn. The truth is, if Earth stopped spinning suddenly, most of humanity wouldn't live to tell the tale. But even if it somehow slowed down gradually, the results would still be catastrophic. Oceans would shift, climates would break, and the familiar cycle of day and night, the rhythm that has shaped life for billions of years, would vanish. In short, the spinning of Earth is not just a background detail, it's the reason life exists as we know it. Without it, our planet would transform into an alien nightmare almost instantly. So, next time you look at a sunrise or sunset, maybe take a moment to appreciate the fact that our world is stopped saying,